Dude, this subject is so deep right now that this goes into a whole lot of things. Was Dana White wrong on a lot of things he said about Francis? Should Francis be able to fight for a heavyweight title in boxing, like an official title?
Yeah.
Was he about to be the greatest of all time heavyweight? And now this is another conversation. Now I'm starting to think, was Jon Jones really kind of not wanting that Francis fight? Because realistically, Jon Jones can't get in there and do that. Okay, welcome back to another great debate. Today we're going to be discussing what happened between Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell at the top so you can be notified when we drop new content. And we want to hear from you as well. Man, we got to get into this because, first of all, I want to say this. I was thinking, we made some videos this year and last year when I was saying I didn't really like the way Francis went about things.
Yeah.
Because it felt like he was on a complaining tour. Like I said, he wasn't wrong, but the way he was going about it, it just seemed like every interview was just this and that. And I was like, man, make the most of the opportunity and then win your fights so you can put yourself in a better position to have more leverage and get what you want and be realistic about what you're trying to get. I did go hard. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I did say, like, I just didn't like the way he went about it, truth be told. But he did the impossible. He actually came out on top of this thing.
We said he don't necessarily have to beat Tyson Fury. All he got to really do is go the distance, and that's a win for an MMA fighter.
Go the distance, but not as far as like getting beat up and you survive 12 rounds. Like kind of like how Charlo survived against Canelo for 12 rounds.
But even still, though, that's more victory, man. Because if the tables were turned, if Tyson was in the MMA octagon with Francis, he would get finished.
But I'm saying this, at the same time, Francis is still a heavyweight champion. You can't go get pummeled in boxing in a decision and survive and say it's a moral victory. And then you got MMA heavyweights looking at that and saying, oh yeah, I'm finna beat you. Yeah, like you got beat up basically for however many rounds. You was okay with it as long as you made it to a decision. That's not okay. But Francis, he actually went out there and won. He should have won, but they didn't give him the nod. But they really cheated. They gave Tyson more time than he was supposed to have when he dropped him. That's the second time that Tyson did that.
I told you before the fight, man. I said Francis has a decent chance of beating Tyson, and you said why? I said, dude, he's not gonna be able to get Francis in the clinch because Francis, he's an MMA fighter. So it's hard to get an MMA fighter in the clinch, bro, against anybody else.
Like what he did to Deontay Wilder, where a lot of his damage was coming on the break.
Yeah, he looked like an amateur. When it came to clinch work, it looked like Deontay Wilder was an amateur. But against Francis Ngannou, he's already hard to take down as it is. Stipe couldn't even take him down. And then on top of that, he was big.
He was able to go all the rounds, bro. He didn't look tired. I was like, what? He stuck to a game plan.
And he looked fresh after the fight. He was able to talk, bro. And Conor, why couldn't Conor go the distance with Mayweather? You know what's weird, but I know this whole other topic. I'm not gonna talk about this for too long. But before the fight, they asked Conor, what should Francis do? And Conor said in the fight with Floyd Mayweather, he said he should have been more aggressive. He said he kept on looking at the clock. He said he was trying to pace himself. And I was thinking about, that's terrible advice, man. You don't tell Francis to try to finish Tyson Fury in the first round. You don't give yourself a chance to win if you go the distance. Because at least Francis barely lost a decision. But say he would have tried to knock Tyson Fury out.
Technically, he won. They robbed him.
But say if he would have tried to knock Tyson Fury out and he would have failed and he would have been gassed out in later rounds, bro, what do Tyson do with people in later rounds when they're tired?
Break them down.
He finished them.
Yeah.
So that was just terrible advice from Conor. What other MMA heavyweight has a chance to beat Tyson Fury in the boxing ring?
None.
You know, no other guy can do that, bro.
None.
And then another thing I'm gonna say is, bro, like even it was certain guys like Greg Hardy calling out boxers, bro. Like
see how that
I think Francis did what Greg Hardy and some of these other heavyweights thought that they could do. It was a lot of UFC heavyweight fighters who were saying, yeah, I will beat Deontay Wilder, I will beat Tyson Fury.
Dude, now I'm starting to think, was Jon Jones really kind of not wanting that Francis fight? Because realistically, Jon Jones can't get in there and do that.
Oh, absolutely not. He wouldn't survive.
Now in MMA, obviously, he would destroy Tyson Fury in about 2 minutes. In boxing, or for an MMA fighter to go into their world and do that.
The reason why that don't matter, because I thought about that yesterday. Jon Jones might can go in a jiu-jitsu match and lose that too, but the thing is, Jon is better at putting everything together. He's never been the best at a particular skill set. And even against a Dominic Reyes or Gustafsson, the first fight, he was able to kind of put things together because he got out-wrestled against Gustafsson and outstruck on the feet. But he was able to put things together, man. He's probably the best at doing that.
He won the last 2 rounds, man. Let's stop playing. But anyway. But anyway, he's still the GOAT. Still the greatest of all time. But anyway, but the thing is, when we talk about heavyweights, we use this phrase, the baddest man on the planet. And right now, the baddest man on the planet is looking like Francis Ngannou. Now, he's not the GOAT, but realistically, and also Jon Jones at heavyweight.
No, Jon Jones is the GOAT in that division.
Well, Jon Jones is the GOAT in MMA history, outside of maybe like a DJ. But I will say this, Jon Jones was doing Grand Theft Auto side missions going up to heavyweight. Let's not pretend like he didn't do everything he needed to do. He was doing side missions. He was doing side quests. Just basically, he was collecting all the trophies. Make no mistake about it. Jon Jones did not need to beat Cyril Gane. He did not need to beat Stipe. He don't need to beat Sergey Pavlovich or Tom Aspinall. He don't need to beat the Francis Ngannou. He don't need to beat the Tyson Fury. We all know at the end of the day, in a real fight, if we not just throwing hands, we know what Jon Jones is going to do to 99.9% of men on this planet.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever he want. Whatever he want to do it. But as far as in the structured, organized combat arena, when we look at boxing, for Francis to take that bet on himself and to go over there and do what he did, that put him in a different category, man. At least for the moment.
Bro, nobody,
because he can't go back to the PFL and lose now.
I'll be honest, man. I'm a big Deontay Wilder fan, man. But honestly, bro, he'll beat Deontay Wilder. The only thing is, in that first round, dude, Francis showed he had a good chin. In that first round, Tyson caught him. He didn't rock him, but he made Francis stumble a little bit.
Speaking of caught,
and Deontay Wilder would land the same punch. The fight probably would have been over, man.
Oh, yeah. So truth be told, if Deontay landed any of those punches,
that's true,
then the fight is over. So you can't really say anybody would beat Deontay.
But at the same time, who expected Tyson Fury's chin to be as good as it was? Because on paper, Tyson not supposed to beat Deontay Wilder. But the thing is,
there's a lot of other factors in there.
He has a great chin, man. He like whenever you can just take damage. Like
there's a whole lot of other factors in that fight to where it shouldn't even have played out the way it did.
Bro.
But you know what I'm saying?
Message.
So what I was saying is, Francis, it seems like he has a great chin. So I'm saying, like, against a Deontay, he might be able to take them shots. Like
I wouldn't roll the dice on that, though, man.
I'm saying you can't count Francis out.
Tyson not a big power puncher, though. We all know that. You just said it. People get tired, and then he break them down. Even these amateur people.
He's saying it, but he's been knocking out his last couple opponents, man. Like, at first.
A couple opponents? These Starbucks workers?
Dillian?
Bro, come on. We know why they throw him in there, bro. Dude, he is the...
But my point is...
He's the Kudalaba of boxing, man. They throw him in there whenever they want.
What I'm saying is... I'm not even a fan of Tyson Fury, but he's been knocking people out as of late. I don't know what's in his system.
But two of those knockouts are Deontay Wilder, and we know there was some things, some circumstances circulating around those things.
I'm saying the fact that Francis was able to take that shot, I'm just saying. You think Greg Hardy would take that shot?
Come on, man.
Exactly.
Anyway, Starbucks workers. But anyway, I apologize because I know.
I want to say it to his face.
That's still a big boy now, you know what I'm saying? But the reality is, we got to talk about this elbow, man. Dude.
The last round. Oh, an elbow came in on the back end of that.
Tyson is a dirty fighter. He threw an elbow on the dude, landed a clean elbow, tried to make it look like it was a punch. Dude, Tyson got so many asterisks around his name, bro. And then they actually cheated with the decision.
Look at their reaction when they announced the winner, and look at Tyson Fury's face. It was almost like Jon Jones' face whenever he barely beat Reyes. It was kind of like, if I lose, I lose.
Immediately after the fight, Tyson was walking to his corner like, I know I lost. And so my thing is this, a lot of times when they run fights back like that, the person who won, who was supposed to lose, they go back and make adjustments and they come back and win again. We've seen Tyson Fury go back and make adjustments and come back and beat Deontay Wilder twice. We know he gonna make adjustments. It looked like Tyson was out of shape anyway. I mean, I know he a big boy, but he looked like he was out of shape, man. When they showed a replay of him getting up from getting dropped by that left hook, dude had love handles coming up back to his traps, man. What's going on? The replay was crazy, man. Did somebody call a plumber? There was a plumbing issue going on in here. Like, dude, come on. So Tyson would definitely win a rematch because that's what they do.
Bruh.
Fighters like that normally win the rematch. Like, let's be real.
Francis opened up a lot of doors with this, man.
No, he didn't, because Francis is one of the only people in MMA who can do that. So that's another narrative I'm not really feeling. I'm not feeling that narrative. Francis is what we call a freak of nature.
You think Usman can beat Canelo? Got him.
The closest person I see who could have a chance.
It was a Prime Anderson, man. That was
no. I'm talking about right now. Sean O'Malley, but he ain't gonna be no tank or nobody like
other
that.
Than Devin Haney, none of them guys.
Well, I'm saying just some decent name where to be an exciting fight. He can win against some of those.
Ryan Garcia, that'd be a good one.
Ryan, even though he got experience, he still seemed like he a little green for some reason. I don't know. Something about it just seemed like
he's just real good at what he do, and that's have that speed, and that's pretty much it.
That might be another video we need to make, fighters in MMA who can go over the boxing. Hey, y'all, comment and let us know who you think would fit into that category so we can make a video on that. You got anything else you want to say?
No, I was gonna say Francis opened up a lot of doors, man. And I'm not saying these guys can necessarily compete with boxers. I'm talking about the payday. Would you rather have 20 fights in the UFC and make $1 million in those 20 fights all together, or would you take this one boxing match And yeah, you gotta roll that dice. You take a chance to get knocked out when you step in the octagon.
You take a chance of getting knocked out with something more brutal.
And we done seen people knocked out in 8 seconds in UFC.
Spinning back kick, flying knee, spinning elbow, you name it. Which we're not talking about the brutality of it, we talking about the variety of it. It's like,
so I'm saying,
you gotta watch out for a hoe. You get knocked out on the ground.
Or you can get knocked down and then they jump on top of you and knock you out, bro.
Or choke you out unconscious. So if you might as well go get the bag. And
especially if you can make 20 million, bro.
But
like,
see,
bro,
that's why I think fighters like Jeremy Stephens, who always struggle with fighting people who, I'm gonna stand up with you, we gonna stand and bang. And then as soon as they get hit, they do the right thing. I'm not knocking them. We gotta start wrestling. I can't let you knock me out. I know what you've done to people. At one point, Jeremy Stephens had a 90% knockout rate. Remember that? Nobody stand up with him, but Jeremy probably would have done better.
And this is another topic, bro, but we didn't see guys like Rampage Jackson, and boxing wasn't really around like
it was dead.
Now. It was kind of dead.
And this is one of the reasons. Missed him. And it's funny because it just skipped over him. It just barely skipped over those type of, Rampage was, that was a while ago. Because his Bellator run was like, it's real iffy. But the people like Jeremy Stephens, because I think Jeremy kind of barely is on the train because he did have a boxing match with Jose. But the thing is, this is one of the reasons people said boxing was dead, because these blatant, clear, bad decisions where it was obviously tampered with, hey, allegedly, because I don't want nobody coming over here, but we looking at the fight and we seen it playing out. Then we get the decision called, and even people who are rooting for the person who won are saying that person did not win that fight. Like, that was definitely not a W. And so whenever you got people who are boxing fans and people who are rooting for the fighter who won, even when those fans are saying, I'm a Tyson Fury fan, but boy, oh boy, did he not win that fight. That's when you know you got a problem on your hands. Boxing finna get greedy again. It might be finna be dead again. Because they getting greedy and they thinking that fans don't care. We'll just keep watching it. But then when we start seeing a bunch of bad decisions, to the point where we say, let's just go back to what we was already watching, they're gonna be feeling the heat again. I'm telling you, they better stop that. Especially if other fighters go over and perform well and start getting robbed, they better relax.
And also the fact that realistically, Usyk not gonna really be able to have an answer for Tyson Fury's size. So Francis was the only person who was there to really beat him like that. If you think about it, he's the only person who has the size to kind of compete with Tyson Fury, man.
And his background, you said, with the MMA training.
Exactly, and the fact that he didn't get the decision, which it was a close decision, to be honest, but a lot of people felt like he got robbed. And the fact that nobody's going to be the one to beat Tyson, because realistically, he's probably going to retire after he beat Usyk. He's already saying he's the greatest of all time and all that, man. Bruh, I mean...
Greatest.
Great cheater. I mean...
I ain't going to say it. But y'all chime in. Let us know how y'all feel. Give us your takes. Have a good one.